Welcome back, friends, to another weekly video. I've been talking a lot lately about capital assets. Well, you can't talk about capital assets without also talking about depreciation. The two go hand in hand. So depreciation is a complicated area of accounting, so we're going to be breaking it down for you in this video. I want to start this video by explaining why it's good to have a friend who's an accountant. Because accountants have a secret superpower. Accountants tend to be very good at explaining things in a systematic and rational way. So to start out this video, I'm going to be explaining a very basic life skill that a lot of people have a difficult time with. How to fold a fitted sheet. So I have a plain white fitted sheet here, and you can see it's pretty nicely folded. And the question is, how did I do this? Fitted sheets are almost impossible to fold. I don't know who designed these things, but they have these little elastic pieces in the corners that make it very difficult to put in a nice little folded package. Well, I'm going to be giving you 3 simple steps on how you can fold one of these things. And this is a very simple process. If you follow each one of these 3 steps, you can fold this sheet every single time. Step 1, find the 4 corners. So in every fitted sheet, you're going to have these elastic corners, and you want to find each one of the 4 corners. So every time you find another corner, you're going to fold it over each other just like this. So what you can see here is I have each of the 4 corners of the sheet all at the top here, and I'm just holding them up with one arm. It looks a little bit messy, looks like a little bit of a mess, but this is the step number 1. Find each of the 4 corners, and then I'm holding them up with one hand. Step number 2 is shake the sheet. And so what you're doing is you're just going to shake this sheet, and you're letting the sheet fold itself, because you've already got all the corners on one end, and so the rest of it is just going to fall into place. And so what happens is you have the elastic parts along the top and down the side, and it turns into a perfect square. What you'll see is you'll be able to grab this bottom corner here, which is the opposite from your top corners. And just by shaking it out, you formed a nice folded square. Step number 3 is fold it 2 more times. Once you have the square, you're just folding it over twice more, and you end up with a nice compact folded sheet. Alright, so I just folded it over 2 more times, and I have my nice compact folded sheet. So I went from that wadded up ball of a sheet to this nicely folded package. So those are the steps. Find the 4 corners, shake the sheet, fold 2 times. So what I have done here is I've taken this activity that is difficult and confusing for a lot of people, folding a fitted sheet, and described a process how to do it in a systematic and rational way. Well, that's a skill that we as accountants are really good at, and it's essentially what you do when you calculate depreciation. So what is depreciation? Well, every time you buy a capital asset, which is an asset that's going to last multiple years, we're talking about 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, you're going to have to depreciate it each and every year on your financial statements. It sounds simple, right? Well, it gets very complicated because there is a lot of different ways that you can calculate depreciation. So here's just a couple of examples. Straight line, modified accelerated cost recovery system, or MACRS, that's what we use to do taxes in the United States. You have the activity method, the sum of the year's digits, composite method, and there's many more methods of doing depreciation. You could even come up with your own method of doing depreciation. So there's a lot of different ways to do depreciation. Well, if you're a business owner, what do you do? What method do you use to calculate your depreciation? Well, the short answer for that is you hire a good accountant. because accountants are really good at this. Let me explain what's going on in a big picture sense. So we're going to talk about GAAP for a minute here. Quick tip. GAAP stands for Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. These are the accounting rules that are followed in the United States. GAAP is the rule book that we have to follow, and GAAP talks about how to do depreciation. So what GAAP says about depreciation is that businesses must depreciate their assets in a systematic and rational manner. So there is flexibility here for a business to choose a method that fits their business and fits their industry, but they have to choose a method that is systematic and rational. Now I'm going to get really personal here, because we started out this video by folding a fitted sheet. Now I'm going to show you guys my linen closet. And I've always said you can tell a lot about somebody's character by the state of their linen closet. All right, here we are at my linen closet. So we're gonna take a look inside. And what you're gonna see here is I don't have anything too fancy. I don't need a lot of sheets or towels or anything. But what you got here, you got my sheets, you got my towels, that's my beach towel over there, and then I have some towels and stuff to wash my car down at the bottom. But this is my linen closet. And what I wanted to show you guys is it's pretty neat and organized. I'm trying to make a point here. When you have a process where you do things in a systematic and rational way, what you end up with is something that is neat and organized. Well, that's your job as an accountant. Your job is to go into a business and make things neat and organized, and that is what depreciation is all about. You're doing something in a systematic and rational way so that your financial statements are neat and organized. It's a really great skill to have as an accountant, and one of the reasons why it's so important to have a good friend who's an accountant. So this is Zach from Wolves in Finance. Let's go out and make some money.